Kyle here debuting set 71812 Kai's Ninja Climber Mech. This set released March 1st this year, retails for €70 with 4 minifigures, with one minifigure being exclusive to the set. The climber suits are basically just slightly better season 1 suits, despite still having a 5 head, although the new armor piece definitely makes up for it. Personally, I'm a big fan of the scarf look at the front. The front face print is a red printed mask with an angry expression, while the alternative face print is a confident smirk. The torso print is a yellow undershirt, dark red robes, a dragon emblem, climbing gear across the torso, and a grey belt. The back printing is more of the dark red robes, climbing gear, grey belt printing, and Kai Season 11 symbol. The leg printing is a yellow belt to the left, grey belts, and bands across the knees. For accessories, Kai has a golden katana and a climbing hook. Again, this is a really great suit. Climbing gear aesthetic is really unique, and honestly, new armor piece does a really great job of bringing this suit together. These are easily the best Dragons Rising suits so far. Although keep in mind, the cheapest set this minifigure comes in is a €40 4+ set. Let's be real, save the extra 30 and buy this set. We may have not gotten a new suit for Aaron or Sora in the March wave, but at least we've got a new Wildfire minifigure, which is an interesting redesign. The hairpiece is brand new for this year, which is pretty good. Face print though is the exact same from last year, which is a little disappointing since there's no alternative face print. Still holding out hope for new face prints for the new Ninja Trio in the summer wave. The armor piece is the same one used for Adult Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 wave last year. The torso print is tan armor, a peek at the orange undershirt, and red markings around the shirt opening. The back print is a flame design, which is kind of reminiscent of Flambeau from Adventure Time, and Wildfire's initials in jargon. The leg printing is an orange belt to the left, toe printing continued from the torso, red bands across the knees, and toe printing. For accessories, Wildfire has 2 red power blast pieces, which you can fire by pressing down on them like so. Overall, it's not a bad design for Wildfire, but personally I prefer her suit from last year. This new design isn't very detailed, especially with the torso design. The accidental Adventure Time reference nearly makes up for it, although at least this time they made a new hairpiece specifically for Wildfire instead of reusing an already existing mold. Now this is a near perfect J-suit. The mask piece is the same 5 head mold from last year. The armor piece is the same as Kai's but in dark blue, which looks really great, but there's 2 problems. One, the upper mask piece should have been in dark blue to better fit with the armor piece's shade of blue. The second problem is that the rest of the suit uses light yellow instead of the armor piece's pearl gold, which creates another issue where the color scheme clashes with itself, which is basically a problem with all of the climber suits. The front face print is a printed mask with lightning bolts and a smirk, while the alternate face print is an angry expression. The torso print is a light yellow undershirt, dark red blue robes, dragon emblem, climbing gear across the torso, and a grey belt. The back printing is more of the dark blue robes, climbing gear, grey belt printing, and Jay's Season 11 symbol. The leg printing is a light yellow belt to the right, grey belts, and bands across the knees. For accessories, Jay also has a golden katana and climbing hook. The suit was so close to being perfect. Again, the biggest problem with these new climbing suits is the clash in color combos. The only villain minifigure in the set is Jordana, and unfortunately, it's an incomplete suit, as it uses a clear neck bracket instead of the usual sand blue fur coat to attach Jordana's glider, which isn't a half bad build to be honest. Just feels a little random, especially for wolf warriors. Jordana uses the Gale Gossip hairpiece in maroon. The front face print is a mischievous smile, while the alternate face print is disgusted expression. The torso print is dark blue armor, grey fur, an azure wolf Ouroboros, blue blades, and a purple loincloth with Thoraxian runes. The back printing is really simple with just dark blue armor and grey fur printing. The leg printing is a grey belt with buckles at her end, dark blue armor, grey fur, a purple loincloth with Thoraxian runes, Crescent Moon knee pads, and boot printing. An accessory, Jordana has a Blood Moon sword, which is a super cool looking mold. As I've said in previous reviews, this is a really great villain design, although the lack of the fur coat piece definitely hurts this minifigure, plus the glider is very random. Personally, I think it would have been better if we got a Minecraft headpiece printed to be more like the box that Bonsly is trapped in towards the end of the first half of season 2. At long last, we finally have a 4-armed mech.
Long have I waited.
And well, it's peak. Also flawed. Peak but flawed. The feet of the mech have this frog-like appearance with the toes being angled slow pieces connected by clips. The mech's legs could use a lot of work. I get they probably had to go this route to prioritize stability, but they do not look good at all. It's like 2 steel girders holding up the mech. While there's no knee articulation, the designers actually found a workaround by using a double ball joint connection for the feet, allowing for some fairly dynamic poses, again even without knee articulation. In fact, the biggest praise I can really sing for this set is the fact that it's actually stable. I found in recent years that modern large-scale mechs like Jay's Titan Mech and the Crystallized Samurai X Mech don't exactly have the greatest stability and tend to fall over frequently. But this set on the other hand is the exact opposite. It is able to hold up on its own pretty well, which is a super pleasant bonus.
Surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Going back to the steel girder comparison, the thighs are super thick compared to the legs, much like Jay's Titan Mech, but to a much more extreme. The tender thighs are connected to the mech's body by ratchet joints, allowing them to be angled like so. Progressing upwards to the cockpit, the mech's core is super thin with astromech domes at either end. The cockpit uses stickers for the flame decals, and a design similar to Kai's elemental fire mech from earlier this year, which makes sense since in the context of the show, it's just an upgraded version of that mech. To sit Kai in the cockpit, you sort of just pop him in like so, which doesn't leave much of an interior design. It's honestly not really needed. Though I have found that this connection, the Marvel mech piece, is very loose and flimsy. If you're subscribed to this channel, you're most definitely just buying this set for collector value. The head of the mech is a very simple design and is connected to the mech's body by a ball joint connection. Mech's lower biceps have Kai Season 11 symbol. Either side is a sticker on a circular tile and are connected to the mech's body by ratchet joints. Mech's arms use the Evo mech joint piece in black, which eliminates elbow articulation. On the other hand, his hands are connected to the arms through a ball joint connection and hold the mech's gigantic swords, which are identical. Also articulate the mech's fingers, which are connected by a clip connection. The mech's upper arms are connected to the back through ratchet joints, while the rest of the arms are built on Technic beams, which doesn't look the greatest. Both upper hands are also connected by ball joints, allowing for some articulation, and use the same pieces for the fingers, which are also connected by a clip connection. The back of the hands have these large climbing hook pieces attached, which are brand new for this wave, much like the smaller climbing hooks. However, the main play feature lies with the right hand. As you can see, this hook is attached by a string, which allows for it to detach, and I've gotta say, it's incredibly impressive that you can both hold the mech up by the string and jostle around without the mech falling apart. It's a minor thing, but it would have been cool to have gear pieces that allowed you to winch the hook back up to the mech's upper arm without having to manually reconnect it to the Technic rod at the back of the mech, but that's just beyond nitpicking. The front of the instructions have a bland CG render of the set, the back of the instructions have a win ad with a render of Movie Lloyd, ads for the March and January waves, as well as Kai running across a progress bar. Overall, this is one of the best Ninjago mechs of all time. While yes, it's definitely a little overpriced, like at most, this set should have been 50 to 60 bucks instead of 70, but it could always be worse. I hope someday we get a 4-armed mech that has actual fully built up arms instead of just 2 twigs. But until that day, it does a pretty banging job at satisfying that 4-armed itch. To answer the question raised in my elemental fire mech review, yes, this is easily the best Kai mech without a question. But all that said and done, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to stay notified for my future LEGO set reviews. If you want to help the channel financially, consider becoming a channel member for only €2 a month. Till next time, see ya.